Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Notes by LaRue. It is yours truly, Deetra LaRue, and here I strive to bring you hope, motivation, and encouragement, one note at a time. If you are new to my channel and would like to become one of my beloved note takers, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Now that the rules are out of the way, grab a pen and a pad and prepare to take some notes because class is officially in session. So, you guys, can you believe that we are at the end of 2020? This has been a year filled with a lot of unexpectancies, roller coaster of emotions and feelings, but nonetheless we are at the end and we have almost made it through, and we are anticipating a wonderful, at least I know I'm anticipating a wonderful new year. I have a theme every year. Well, for the past 3 years, I've had a theme for how I have wanted my year to go. 2018, my theme was living in expectancy. 2019, my theme was expecting more. 2020, my theme was all expectations met. And although all my expectations have not been met, my theme for 2021 is going to be surpassing all expectations. And again, although all of my expectations have not been met, I am so glad and fortunate and extremely blessed, beyond appreciative and thankful for God for all that He has done for me and done in my life. I have had quite a few bumps in the road this year. I've had some ups and downs, plenty of ups and downs. I've incurred quite a few losses. But nonetheless, there are a lot of things that I have still gained. I'm still here. I still have my life. I still have my family. I'm able to enjoy my family and love on them, just a little bit more. I'm still able to do something that I absolutely love doing, whether I get paid for it or not, and that's writing. I love inspiring and motivating people. And a lot of times, people say, when I get comments or feedbacks, on my YouTube channel, say, oh, I really needed that. Or, I may get a DM on my Instagram, or I may get a message on my my blog, Notes by LaRue. Oh, I really needed that. You really just gave me that extra or that motivation and encouragement, that I need. Or, oh, you wrote that just for me. You must knew what I was going through, must knew what I needed. And now I'm saying to myself, like, if only you knew. I wrote that for you, but to be 100% truthful, I really wrote it for myself as well. A lot of times I like to self-medicate, or self-therapy, I should say, because it's like, how can you get on here and you tell these people all your, for the most part, all your life experiences you've gone through, the trials and the tribulations that you have endured. Okay, y'all need to do this to get over this, or y'all need to do this to make yourself feel better, but then you're not taking heed to your own word. And a lot of times when I get on here and I do these videos, or I may write a post on my blog, to inspire other people, it's only because I am trying to gain that sense of inspiration that I am so desperately trying to, feed others. So sometimes when I do have my posts, I not only have you all in mind, but I have myself in mind, and it's just something that I can go back to as a reference and, look upon. I'm pretty sure I'm no different from everybody else. You have your New Year's resolutions that you're going to do, but I don't have New Year's resolutions. I just have new goals. If that just, it's as simple as that, and if that just makes any sense. Because a lot of times we have New Year's resolutions and we don't resolve to do any of them. I'm not going to put in there, I want to lose weight, I want to lose by X amount of weight. No, I'm not going to do that, because when I put that pressure on myself, I ended up not reaching my goal, which makes me feel so defeated and like a failure, or I end up putting on more weight, which also makes me feel equally defeated like a failure. So I don't put things like that down anymore. I just say, my goal is to eat healthier, obviously to exercise, more, and adopt a better, healthier lifestyle as a whole. But one thing I will say is that my vision boards that I have created for the past, maybe 2-3 years, I set the bar so high for myself. When I say I set that bar high, I set that bar incredibly high for myself. And then I'm so amped up and excited about it because I say, okay, well, I just know I'm going to do this. I'm going to get all of this accomplished. And when I look at my vision board, Now my vision boards are not they're not small. They're not like, oh, there's like 5 or 6 things on here that I want to accomplish. No, your girl be pushing like anywhere from 15 to 20. And I said, you know what? I would admit I am over ambitious at times. I am an overachiever. I am extremely critical of myself, and when I don't do something that I say I'm gonna set out to do, then I get really frustrated and upset with myself. But one thing that I have learned and taken into account, that I am human, although I know I set the expectations in the bar a little too high for myself sometimes. I also give myself credit and say, whereas you may have had 10 or 15, goals that you've wanted to accomplish for the year, and you may have only gotten, I don't know, probably about 3 to 5 done. Pat on your back. Good job, Deidre. At least you did not give up. You did not set out to accomplish all that you wanted to accomplish, but you did something, and you put forth some type of effort to get the results that you wanted. Now, again, although it was not necessarily all that I wanted to do, but at least I got something done. And a lot of people, I feel like they beat themselves up because, they're too like me. They're extremely overambitious, overachievers, and they say, okay, I'm going to do a million things before the year's over with. And then it's like when your million turns into 100 or 20 even, it's like, wow, I really let myself down. I'm disappointed in myself, but I'm no longer going to be disappointed in myself. I just look at it this way. If I did not get all that I wanted to accomplish within a year's time frame, there's always next year. If not next year, there's always the year after next, Lord willing, that I live to see it. But something that I want to strive to not do, but yet at the same time, I also want to continue to do it, is when I set goals and give myself time frames. I want to have realistic goals that are measurable. Instead of me saying, okay, well, because we all know next year I'm going to be a multimillionaire. I've been putting that out there, that what has been confirmed to me, prophesied, whatever the case may be, I will be a multimillionaire next year. I'm going to be even a little bold and say a billionaire, but a multimillionaire. And I said, you know what? Okay, if I don't become a multimillionaire, or if I don't meet or make New York Times best-selling authors list next year, then it's going to be next year. I'm not going to say you got 1 year to accomplish such huge feats as those. I may say, okay, you know what? Instead of you striving for a year, let's give yourself 3 years. That'll be a long-term goal. It's not going to necessarily be a short-term goal, because a lot of our goals that we do have on our vision boards or our resolution list, they're goals that we don't give ourselves enough time to accomplish. And then we don't accomplish them. Like I said earlier, we're upset with ourselves. We feel defeated. And a lot of times we just don't go back and revisit those goals and try to accomplish them later. It's because, okay, well, I had that goal for 2019, and then I turned around and had it for 2020, and I still hadn't gotten it done. So, I mean, I guess it just means it just was not meant to happen. And, that used to be my phrase a lot, where if I didn't do this, or this didn't happen, or this didn't take place, then it was just not meant for me. But a lot of times, we all know, it can very well be meant for you, but it just can't be, it just doesn't mean that it was meant for you right then. My vision board last year for 2020, I said I was going to be married. I said that I was going to be on the New York Times bestseller list. I said I was taking like 5-6 vacations this year. I mean, there were a lot of things. I said I was going to be a homeowner. Now I'm not, still renting. I said that there were going to be a number of things that I was going to accomplish for 2020, and out of about all the things on my vision board, and I had a lot of things on my vision board. Yes, I did. I think I may have only accomplished maybe about 6 of them out of the probably 15, 20 that I had on my vision board. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be upset and mad at myself, because those were goals that I was not being realistic with. I don't know why I thought I was going to meet a man. He was going to be my spouse this year. But I mean, I guess this is just me being extremely hopeful, very prayerful, and hoping that God will answer my prayers. And not ashamed to say, for a split second, I thought that he had. And it's not to say that he has not, but it's just that not right now. My focal point has completely shifted. Whereas I'm so in a rush to be a wife and a mommy, before I turn 40, Lord, please don't do me like that. I want to be a wife and a mommy. I said, it's going to happen. I just know without a shadow of a doubt it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen in the time frame that I would like it to happen in. And that's something that we need to stop doing, being so hard on ourselves and setting these expectations so high up for ourselves. And then when it's like we can't reach it or we don't attain what we set out to get, again, we're disappointing ourselves, and we just want to quit altogether. And we all know quitting is not our thing. And it's definitely not our theme for 2021. I definitely need to say that. My thing and my theme, I will say, for 2021 is I want to be happier. I'm already happy now. Even regardless of my circumstances, I'm happy now. I want to be even happier than what I already am. I want to still have my peace of mind, because right now I tell anybody my peace of mind is the most expensive thing that I own, and I'm just not gonna give it to anybody. It's for me. But what I do want people to know is quit being in a rush to try to obtain things that you want to obtain. You're not in a race with anybody. You're not in competition with anybody. And something I used to always tell my students, you would rather take your time and do well than to rush and fail, get put out of school with, they said things like, my friend and I, we started at the same time. Well, my classmate, we said, we're going to take all these classes together because we want, to graduate together. Listen, that's cute. It really is cute. But what you have to understand is, whereas you may be taking 5 or 6 classes and your counterpart is taking 5 or 6 classes, that's something he or she may be able to handle. You may not be able to handle 5 or 6 classes. You may be only able to do 3. And because you are such an overachiever and you've set these high expectations for yourself, and also because you're trying to graduate with your friend and be with your friend, it's like, dang, I missed the mark. Now everybody is so far ahead of me, and I have fallen behind 2 to 3 steps, all because I set the expectations, or the bar, I should say, a little too high for myself, and I was not able to reach them. It's not to say that you are a failure. It is to say that you cannot measure your success based off of what somebody else is doing. What that person may be doing is working for them. It does not necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. You have to find out what is going to work for you. I tell the students all the time, or, anybody in particular, not have to be, students, past students. I will tell anybody, it does not matter who crosses the finish line first. What matters is that you cross that line. So, okay, it may take little Sally Jane over here 3 years to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, whereas it may take me, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 years. It's not to say that little Sally Jane is better than me. It's just to say that was for little Sally Jane to acquire what she has acquired in those 3 years. It's taking me, or it has taken me, or it will take me, I should say, a little bit longer, because maybe there's something that I'm missing. Maybe there's something additional that, God is trying to get me to see that I need to see. And I was listening to the sermon online by this pastor. His name is Dr. Darius Daniels. Love his sermons. They are so phenomenal and amazing. And he did this sermon saying, my time is coming. And in it, he says, a lot of times we say, God, you're just taking too long to get me where I want to be. And I just don't understand, because I'm ready. And I know I'm ready. I put in the work, like, get me there. I need to be there by now. And it's like God is saying, no, you're not ready for that. I am not going to give you something that could potentially ruin you. And, he said that, it takes time for God to build builders. We're the builders. You're a builder. Whereas I'm building you up on here weekly with motivation. You may be building somebody else up, or you may be building yourself up. It takes time to build things. Just think about a house. If you say, oh, well, I'm going to have this house done in 30 days, Lord only knows the amount of trouble, foundational troubles at that you're going to have with that house, because you were so, set and bent out of shape on getting this done in such a timely manner that it was a rush job. And we all know that, what rush jobs, do. It's kind of like, when you're doing your hair, I gotta hurry up, do this, do that. Your hair not end up being on point. It's the same with your makeup, with your clothes, with food that you prepare, with anything that you are rushing to do, 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss a step. You really are. And I had written this piece on my blog entitled Every Step Counts. And I did it from the standpoint of, maybe have not been a good analogy, because I know nothing about marriages, although I aspire to have my own one day. But I did it from the standpoint of a marriage. Steps 1 through 5. And each step is absolutely important and critical that you take each step that's going to ultimately get you to step 6, which is marriage and staying there. A lot of times, we're so quick to, what Drake said, go from 0 to 100 real quick. Or we're so quick to go from, from step 1 to step 6 so fast that we skip steps 2 through 5. And then when we get to step 6, and it's like, wait a minute now, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. Like, I'm missing some. Yeah, you are. You missing step 2 through 5, but you were so in a rush and so busy to get to step 6 that you just neglected 2 through 5 and say, hell, I can just skip from 1 all the way to 6 and we in this thing. And then you worry about why your spouse is trying to get out of that thing. You miss a step. You miss a step. And it's okay to step out of line and say, hey, can you hold my spot? And while I run and go do, X, Y, and Z, then, you come back and you pick up where you left off at, and you just keep going and you keep pushing. You don't ever give up. But most importantly, do not, and I repeat, do not skip those steps, because when you skip a step, you miss something. And then your foundation starts to collapse. And, something that was just so profound, he said, God is strengthening and broadening your shoulders because of the magnitude of the blessings that he is going to bestow upon you. And just think, if our shoulders is not broad enough and strong enough to withstand the weight of the blessings that are to come, what do you suppose is going to happen? Your shoulders going to start buckling. They're going to start collapsing. And you know what? I always say, God, please don't let me be overwhelmed by my blessings. And it just tied right into what he was saying. It takes time to build things. It takes time to create and build masterpieces. Look at Picasso. Look at all the great, the great artists, the great writers even, for myself. Maya Angelou, all the people that say, it took me so many years to write that book, or it took me, a year or so to write that poem. And I'm looking like, a year to write a poem? Like, what? It was all about mastering their craft. Perfection. In my last video, I said, I am not striving for perfection. And Lord knows I am not striving for perfection, but I want my work to be something that I can say, hey, you know what? I'm proud of. I'm extremely proud of it. Even though it may not be, nothing in somebody else's eyes, but to me, it's everything, obviously one, because I wrote it, and, 2, God gave me what to write. So, I just wanted to encourage you all today. Yes, I know the year is winding down, and you may, you may not have accomplished all that you have set out to accomplish. You may, like me, want to be a wife this year. Well, get with me. Still single. You may have wanted to be a mommy this year, but guess what? My womb is still empty. There may have been so many things that you wanted to do or you wanted to accomplish. Oh, I wanted to have a house, before the year's over. I did too. I thought my house would be built from the ground up, and I'll be living in my 7-bedroom mansion, 3 baths. Don't work like that. I'm gonna have it next year. I'm putting that out there. I would definitely have it next year. I wanted to have my own, publishing company this year. I wanted to have my own bookstore this year. That has not happened. It's not to say it's not going to happen. It's just to say that now is not the time. And we all know Ecclesiastes 3:1 tells us there is a time and a season for everything. And this was clearly not my season. But next year is definitely my season. And it will definitely be my time. I'm very hopeful. I'm very prayerful. I have faith in God. I am trusting God. Again, I have faith in God. I am trusting God. But you know what? I also have faith in myself. You know, it's one thing, you have faith in God. He's okay, well, I have faith that God's going to do exactly what he's going to, do, and exactly what he said he's going to do. But do you have faith in yourself? Do you have the faith to say, hey, yes, I am this wonderful, awesome, phenomenal writer, or this computer guru, or this beautician, or this awesome cook? I'm going to have my business. You're relying on God to say, yes, you're going to give me my business. But when God does give you your business or give you the blessings that he's going to give you, what are you going to do to maintain those blessings? Again, do you have faith in yourself that, hey, because God has entrusted this with me, I am capable of doing exactly whatever it is that he needs me to do? Or are you going to say, okay, well, I had been praying and hoping that God would do this for me, and now that he's done it and I have it, what am I going to do? I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I'm not worthy enough. I feel like I'm going to mess this up. And a lot of times I have felt that way in my life. Like I have done, really not done, more so have said, I really said a lot of, things in my life, a lot of bad things in my life. And I said, you know what? I have messed up pretty much always possible. And I'm good making these promises to God and trying to stick with them. But I had made a promise. I said, and it was in not my last book, but the book before that, Let's Talk conversation that need to be had, often going done. I said, God, I have messed up pretty much every way possible that I can think of. And I assure you, I have not. But this just my thought process, because I'm so extremely hard on myself. And I'm my biggest critic and my absolute worst critic as well. And I said, Lord, I just messed up every way possible. What can I do that I have not messed up or flaked on that I can honor you with? And I said, you know what? I'm 30. Well, at that time I was 35. I just turned 36 a couple of months ago. I said, you know what? I'm 35 and I'm not wed yet. And one thing I do want to do is I want to maintain my virginity. Yes, I said, and I know it is so unheard of this day and age, and so unbelievable. And people to this day still do not believe me. But I know what God knows. But I said, Lord, I promise you, I am going to preserve my virginity for my husband. I'm not having sex with anybody until I say I do, and then we can do the do. But I will say this, I've had a lot of challenges. There has been a lot of times that I have become extremely close, but God just reeled me back in and said, oh, you gotta be quicker than that. But I have not given in, to temptation, any of this stuff. I have not given in. I said, you know what, God, this seems to be the only really true thing that I have not messed up on, and I want to hold out and wait for you. And I got to say this because I don't want anybody to think that I'm taking jabs at them because they may have engaged in premarital sex. When I say the one thing that I have not messed up on, hence the operative word I. What you do is completely your business. I'm not passing any judgment on you. I could care less with whether or not you a virgin or not, how many people you slept. That ain't got nothing to do with Deetra. My name is not in it, and it's none of my business. I am saying this is what I am doing, what is working for me. If you want to do that, what it said, you want to test the waters, go ahead and test the waters before you get married. I'm just going to have to hold out and pray that those waters are not muddy and murky when I do get married. But anyway, I won't know any better, no way, because I hadn't had anybody. But I just know there have been a lot of things that I have not done well in my life. And I said, okay, God, I can't change that, but I do have this to offer you. So will you accept this? Or more importantly, will you accept me? And of course, we all know that he does. He's such a forgiving God. And it's one thing that I really do love about God, because he knows we're not going to get it right on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth try. But even still, he continues, to love us, to bless us, and to forgive us. And I'm just grateful for that. But I wanted to encourage you all today and say, yes, we are nearing the end of another year. Although you may have not set out and accomplished everything although you may not have accomplished, I should say, everything that you have set out to do at the end of this year, one of your greatest accomplishments and rewards, and we all know we never put this on our vision board, is to see the end of the year. COVID has come through. The economy is in shambles. The president that we had is on his way out. A lot has gone on, from the continued police brutality, specifically upon, our African American men. A lot has transpired for the absolute worst this year. But even still, I did whatever I could to make it my absolute best year. And I don't have any complaints. Like I said, even though I don't have a 9-to-5, I don't have any steady income coming in. But one thing I will say, God has continued to sustain me. He's continued to be my Jehovah Jireh, my provider. And he has not allowed me to go without. And neither will he for you. Just continue to, believe, trust, and be hopeful. And, I get up every day and I go in my home office and I bust my behind and right, even though there are so many days, like literally, I've had a handful of days where I've literally had to crawl in on the floor. And when I say crawl, like I'm not playing with you. I'm talking about like a baby all over again, crawl on the floor, because I was just so defeated, so helpless, just so exhausted. And I felt like, why am I keep doing this? I get up and I do this every single day. I come in here, right, and I look for jobs, and it's just that nothing is working out for me. I don't understand why nothing is working out for me, but I do know that God is working everything out for my good according to his purposes. So hopefully you all are encouraged. You all will continue to be encouraged and, try to do whatever you can to uplift yourself. I don't care if you got to come on here and rewatch my videos and, and hear my stories, my life experiences that I've gone through and how I have managed to go through them and come out on top. I don't consider myself to be in the fire anymore, because I'm not. God has definitely brought me through that fiery furnace. But I will say that there are some things that I am typically going through right now, but it is not the end of the world. It is not the end of my life, that's for sure. And most importantly, it is not the end. It's not the end for me. I'm going to keep going on. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep striving to be better. I'm going to keep, striving to be the best person that I can be. Sister, auntie, daughter, all of that. I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm not gonna stop, because it's only up from here. And although there are gonna be times that I will fall down, because I assure you I'm gonna fall again. Even with my success that is to come, those millions next year, I'm gonna fall again. But you know what? I am going to pick myself right back up again. Something I've always imparted to my students and told them, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down. The important thing is you just don't stay there. You got to get back up. And when you get back up swinging and say, hey, well, you may have knocked me down, devil, or this person may have knocked me down, or this unfortunate life event may have knocked me down, but guess what? You're not gonna keep me there. Oh, you got to be quicker than that. As always, I thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a phenomenal and incredible Christmas, and I hope you have an awesome and prosperous new year. And may the same grace and mercy that has kept you all the years long continue to follow you the days of your life. As always, my note takers, thank you so much for watching. Class dismissed.